My money is on life. It is 5:46. I'm Danny Bonaduce. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Howdy.
Howdy. How are you?
Fantastic. I had a great weekend.
Did you? What'd you do?
Hung out with Eddie Vedder Friday night.
Is that true?
Kind of.
You were at the Mariners game.
I was surrounded by thousands of other people.
Oh, that's
hanging
fine.
out
You
with
went to the
him.
game. That's great. How'd we do?
Oh, it was a pretty decent series. The Mariners are on fire, man. I mean, they're looking good. Beth.
So we won?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Beth, who used to work here, had her 50th birthday party, and there were like 50 people all at a Mariners game together. It was
I don't
a lot
know
of fun.
that many chicks that celebrate 50 in public.
Me neither.
Well, they could celebrate it, but call it 29.
They start slowing down those celebrations around 25.
Yeah, right.
And then at
I'm with
30,
you.
it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do here? I'm 30, then 35, then 40, then 50. And it's all a thing. I'm happy to be aging because I didn't expect to get the chance. And so I feel pretty good about it.
Love the shirt. You look great this morning.
I picked this up at Fred Meyer was it in Bellingham?
You went to Bellingham?
Yeah, I did. Have you ever been to Bellingham?
I have.
Yeah.
It's far, though.
Then why are you looking at me like I'm an alien?
Normally you don't drive there
far.
for a shirt.
Well, it's kind of on the way to Canada.
That's right. You were up in Vancouver.
Yeah.
The north one.
And yes, the one to the north. And so we stopped at two different lunches in Bellingham. Very nice restaurants. There's a lot going on in Bellingham.
Wait, did you bang, or do you mean you went and got one on the way up and then one on the way back down?
Do you just speak in riddles with the Eddie Vedder over at my house? And did I bang?
Eddie
have
Vedder
two
threw out the
lunches?
first pitch, which is why I was hanging out with Eddie Vedder Friday night. He was at the Mariners
right.
game.
Oh, no, we knew that. We advertised. Was it Eddie Vedder fireworks night?
Project Fireworks.
Yeah.
No, but bang means you eat one complete meal and then you go someplace else and have another complete meal. So you said you had two
Why
lunches.
do you do that?
Why?
Yeah.
Because food is your friend? I don't know.
Wow, that just sounds like toots to me. That's what that sounds like.
But you said you had two lunches in Bellingham.
Yeah.
So it could mean you had bang.
It could also mean I came home from Canada.
One up and one down.
One up and one down.
Fast, yeah.
It is? Am I not understanding things today?
No, I don't know, man. Was it good food that you ate?
Yeah,
in
great
Bellingham?
food on the way up. A really nice little restaurant. I went up. I had great food in Canada. 2 words from my rotten little son: bison poutine. Huh? What other dad delivers bison poutine?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
And I did like it, which I was nervous about. I thought if he doesn't like anything. Luckily, I have not been rough on this kid because he really bugs me.
Yeah.
But I don't see him often enough. But for example, his girlfriend's name is Finn.
Yeah.
And then I find out, and she's the one that you have to call her they.
Right.
Or them. But they seems to have them. They went to college. They're going down the street. They're going to the store. I kissed them. That's how them would come in. And it irritates the bejesus out of me. I want everybody punished.
It seems hard to follow.
It's
you just get confused.
It's just stupid. But I was 18 once, and I was 17 once. I was a different pain in the ass, but I was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So, okay. So his partner, friend, his friend, and he are no longer speaking to his mother because she called her Hannah. And I said, why the hell would she call her Hannah? And that seems like craziness.
Yeah.
Turns out it's her name.
Oh.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Her name's not Finn.
No, she picked Finn out of a book of stupid.
Oh, my goodness.
Like it said right there on the cover, Book of Stupid.
Yeah.
So maybe because Finn is not gender specific
Right.
and Hannah is.
Oh, yeah, no, and it's whatever. And by the way, I'd like to point out there's part of me that really admires her. Her family, and obviously parts of my family, make it very rough on her to be these people that she wants to be. Like, I'd have backed down an hour. They'd have said, hey, okay, them, no allowance. And I said, oh, you can call me Steve right now. So there is part of her that I admire greatly. It's just, everything. His septum piercing bugs me, especially while we're eating.
Yeah.
It looks like his nose is running, and I don't care for it. So we went up to Canada. And by the way, Skagit Valley Casino Resort.
Yeah.
Is that up there?
It is.
Seems like
up
a
that
long way to travel to see Rob Schneider.
It's a little ways, but certainly our listeners that are a little further north, it's convenient for them.
Yeah, I didn't see that place was convenient anywhere. But I would go there for the right act. So we went by, we said, hey, Rob, what's up? And he was already gone and nobody cared. We went to Canada, ate the bison poutine, and then Dante comes down to the hotel. No, he calls us. His pants are split.
Oh.
But not across the butt.
Oh.
Down the left leg from from like his hip bone past his underwear all the way down to the brim of his tennis shoe. There's no pant whatsoever. Wow. Yeah. So
do that?
I don't know how. And he said my pants ripped. And no, they didn't. I've ripped pants. Those are not pants that ripped. Those are pants that have been ripped.
Yeah.
And then so he went to Fred Meyer, where I got this bitchin' shirt. Thank you very much for noticing. And so he goes to get these pants. He tries them on. He says, okay, these are great. I guess this size. I'm the best dad. And I said, okay, let's go pay for them. He goes, can I wear these out of the store? And I said, yeah, you can. Do you have one of those weird security tags on? He goes, yeah, it does. I looked at it. It was ironclad. There was no getting it off. So I said, we'll just ask the lady to take it off. So we go up to the front, and she can't get it off. And there's a line behind us. So she calls somebody else who can't get it off. So one of them is pulling the pants out away from his body, staring right down at a 17-year-old butt, which no matter how cool you think you are, is horrifying.
Yeah.
2 checkers at Fred Meyer staring down your butt crack. They get a third guy over. And they finally, and I mean literally finally, get that thing off his pants. And if you want to buy my son pants, he's 32.
Okay.
I knew that right away. I'm looking good. I bought some new jeans. I'm very excited about it.
You are looking good, man.
Thank you, dear. It's the new clothes. Oh, I dig these.
Oh, wow. Look at those shoes.
Those are some blue suede shoes, man.
We got to remind people, if they're not watching on Danny TV, we're live on Facebook. It'll be up later on the YouTube page. Check it out.
Later on, we'll put Danny's footwear up on a channel. But aren't they cute?
They're very
I really, really like them. So you won your baseball game. What'd you do?
Just trying to beat the heat, man. We were out shooting each other with hoses, and I got to get a bigger pool.
You do?
We have, like a kiddie pool that's fairly big. It's like 8 foot long, but it's
inflatable
only,
or hard plastic?
It's inflatable, but it's only about like 1.5 feet deep, so I look pretty stupid in it.
But you know what? Isn't that all you need to be cool? Is to lay in there like that?
Yeah, but like it kind of, I mean, me and the kid can't both be in there really at the same time.
Oh, so she must hate you.
Right? Because I'm like, go get daddy another beer. Come on.
I'm assuming that is the case. So yeah, I guess then all our weekends were worth doing. I really enjoyed Vancouver. Just really nice. But I played the real estate game there. Yeah. Right in length with New York and Hong Kong.
Really?
That's crazy, man. $3,000 a square foot for some, meaning a 1,000 square foot nice little 2-bedroom apartment. $3 million.
Oh my gosh.
Have you lost your mind? Now that's in Canadian dollars, so it's $4 in real money, I think.
Well, I hate to say it, but we have a lot of news going on of the serious nature, both locally and nationwide. We have a lot to get to, but news this morning brought to you by Car Pros Renting Kia. We'll start with local news. A Kent police officer was struck and killed during a chase near 516 and Meeker Street yesterday, struck by another Kent police officer as he tried to deploy spike strips. Now, this happened about 2 a.m. Officers responding to shots fired. An officer heard gunfire. When he arrived, they found a red pickup truck that was fleeing the scene. A pursuit began. The truck got turned around, headed back towards the police officers. The officer who died tried to deploy those spike strips when he was struck by another officer pursuing that criminal.
You were right to set this up, but I got some serious news because that's it.
So, of course, they are searching for this person who fled. And they said anyone who has information about these people who are at large, 1 person has been arrested, 2 people still at large. Anyone who has information is asked to call the Kent Police Department.
So the people in the truck got away?
Wow. 2 people did, 1 person did not.
That almost never happens.
Yeah.
You get in a police thing, especially when your tires have been spiked. That's it. You're caught.
And there's another officer in the hospital, is that correct?
Yeah, the guy who accidentally hit his fellow officer. And Seattle police are investigating a fatal stabbing in Deldridge neighborhood over the weekend. This happened 16th Avenue Southwest, 10 o'clock at night. The victim is 34 years old. No suspect located. Again, anyone with information being asked to call police. And national and international news. Another shooting to report this morning, this time out of Toronto. A gunman walking the street, shot 14 people, killing 2. The 29-year-old gunman did not survive. We are unsure of whether or not the bullet was his own or police who did arrive at the scene. And therefore, because the shooter is deceased, we don't have a motive.
Right. But if there's a loud and clear motive, you'll get it.
Yeah.
If he hated his boss, everybody in his family and friends know. If a girl just broke up with him, everybody in his family and friends know.
They'll talk to people he knows. They'll search his computer history. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. Of course, what a lot of people are wondering is, could this be terrorism?
So weird to me that there's a distinction.
Yeah.
When you're walking down the street killing innocent people, it might not be a terrorist act. I don't get that.
Well, yeah, the police said, I'm not calling it random, but I don't know why he did what he did. He won't be able to tell us because he's deceased.
Did he sing it like that?
Yes, he did.
He certainly did.
Those Canadian cops.
Wow.
And more bad news in the news, I'm sorry to say, but trying to keep y'all informed. A California domestic dispute spiraled out of control over the weekend, ending with the death of a complete stranger. Police say a 28-year-old male got into a fight with his grandmother, shot her 7 times, forced another female into the grandmother's Toyota, and fled. A police chase ensued. He shot out his own rear window while firing, crashed the vehicle, was shot in the arm by police, and then went to Trader Joe's.
Can I tell you right now, that's the toughest family in the world? So he's shot, and he goes into Trader Joe's to take, I believe, like 50 hostages, right? Mm-hmm. The grandma that he shot 7 times, when I left the house, she was in the hospital.
Yeah.
She's okay. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, we don't know her condition. You know, being shot 7 times, okay, is probably optimistic.
That's 50 Cent. He does it all the time.
So, yeah, he goes into Trader Joe's. He takes 40 hostages. And sadly, one woman who has been identified as the store manager was killed in a barrage of gunfire. Other people have non-life-threatening injuries. But the standoff ended, just sadly not before the manager was killed.
Before this story, I couldn't imagine anything bad ever happening at a Trader Joe's. Like, it's just such a fun place to shop.
Before the last story, I couldn't imagine anything harsh happening in Canada.
Right, true.
What the hell's going on in the world?
Well,
a Canadian Trader Joe's has to be the safest place on earth.
I would think so.
A man in California is making news. Michael Belby says he has seen gangsters, prostitutes, and thieves around his Bakersfield home. 66 years old, he is so frustrated with the amount of crime taking place, he decided to take action when he saw a man get out of a Jeep, parked 500 feet from his house, unzip his pants, open the passenger door, and winky. Well, he thought it was, okay, so let me describe this.
Yeah, because I'm lost.
So he's in a vehicle, gets out of the vehicle, goes around to the passenger side, opens up the door to winky.
Yeah, got it.
The guy who sees this thinks he's going around the passenger side to have happy times with a prostitute. That's what he thinks because he lives in a very bad neighborhood. So he decides he's going to shoot that man.
I don't think you can do that.
Well,
I've
you
shot him
can't.
a bunch of times, too.
Well, can you shoot around the hooker? I mean, how good of an aim does this guy think he is?
Right.
Well, thankfully, he missed. He did fire 3 rounds. He said to, quote, get him out of the mood to have sex. What he did not realize was the man was a plain-clothed sheriff's deputy working undercover. Because he was on an undercover sting, he had no place to relieve himself. He opened the door to hide
I gathered that.
his privates, which he did.
How big are this guy's privates?
I've got to open 2 doors.
Man, my privates are a sergeant.
So he wasn't breaking any laws, but now Michael Bilby, who shot at police, is in trouble. They said he will be back in court in 3 days to face charges.
The cop wasn't breaking any laws? If you open a door, you're fine?
Because he was hiding.
No, because he's a cop on a current sting and can't leave the premises. And I'm guessing that. I don't know. I'd be arrested for it.
Yeah,
and I'd get indecent exposure and end up one of those predators or something.
I think you're right.
Yeah, they said it's twofold. What Danny said is totally right. You're a cop. You're on the job. But the way he did it, you couldn't actually see his whoosits.
Sure.
Have you ever done that?
Everybody does that.
Yeah, we've all boys have done that 100 times. So we got what he did. I just wouldn't shoot at a guy for it.
No.
Plus, that guy's a menace. As much as, he says, whatever reason, I'm in a terrible neighborhood, I'm tired of the crime, he opened fire on a guy he didn't know who he was or what he was. That guy should be in real trouble.
And a civilian superhero of sorts in Stockton is at it again. Now, he is a civilian superhero who calls himself...
I'm Batman.
Batman.
Okay. Where's this guy?
Stockton's Batman.
See, there's a Batman across the street from where I lived with Amy in Los Angeles in front of the Grauman's Chinese Theater. There's all those characters. But that one's really crazy. I saw a documentary on the characters and Wonder Woman and all of them, and it was a very interesting, I wish I knew the name of it, very interesting documentary. But that guy thought he was Batman and would get in fights, and he would lose fights, and he would say he's a spy. Those guys can be dangerous and smelly.
Well, I guess the difference here is that this guy doesn't dress up and try to earn tips. This guy is fighting crime. This is like Phoenix Jones.
But he doesn't wear a suit?
Right.
You got to wear a suit.
Phoenix Jones wears a cool suit, or wore.
Yeah.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he's still around.
I think he lost a couple of fights in the ring and felt bad about being a superhero.
Well, Stockton's Batman has nabbed, allegedly, hundreds of criminals in the Stockton shopping center. And according to Stockton police, he's not breaking the law because citizens' arrests are perfectly legal in California. I don't know if they're legal here in Washington, but in California...
But is he right? Is he always, hundreds of criminals?
Well, he claims they're hundreds.
Oh.
He has started filming them and posting them to Facebook, so you can go to Stockton Batman's Facebook page and see his most recent ones. So he waits to see if somebody commits a crime. He found somebody who had lit something on fire. So, you are an arsonist. I'm going to arrest you.
Yeah.
Because I am Batman.
Does he put the fire out as well? Or just
And does he
that
talk like that?
Well, you kind of have to if you're...
I would, yeah,
Batman.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so the cops say he's not breaking the law, but they don't advise it. They would recommend you call 911.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fire one is worth calling 911. I'll bet 90 out of your 100 arrests of the bad guys, 90 were not worth prosecuting.
Yeah.
But somebody starting a fire anywhere, that seems reasonable to me.
Is Stockton a bad town?
Yeah. Bad in the sense you don't want to live there, but even if there was no crime, you don't want to live in Stockton.
Yeah,
it's
kind of a
boring. It's in the
nothing.
middle of nowhere.
Well, and we did talk about Phoenix Jones. Is Phoenix Jones still fighting crime? Does anyone know?
See,
haven't heard
I
anything
said
from
no, but I'm just guessing because I think he lost his last fight in the ring, which I could also be making up, but that's what I thought.
That was the last we heard from him. Was he was doing one of the cage sport events?
And I got to tell you,
UTC.
if I went into the ring and I'm Phoenix Jones, and I get in the ring against
Talk like that?
Steve, and Steve kicks my ass, I'm going to feel a little weird about being a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen his name come up in any
Yeah, me either.
crime stories. And so either he's focused on fighting or they aren't reporting it because they are not wanting to encourage it.
Is that he's embarrassed because he lost the fight? Is that in that scenario?
No.
Because that's my money. My money's
He's
on he lost the
embarrassed.
fight and he's a little embarrassed to call himself a superhero. And by the way, if you're out there listening, dude, I was a big fan of yours. I think that's great, that stuff.
Maybe the cops don't want to let the criminals know that he's still out there fighting crime.
He's in a wacky Batman suit. You'll know.
A man looks to be facing charges for misdeeds at Vancouver Harbor.
Now, Vancouver, I'm kidding.
This guy put a blow-up doll up into the sky.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, it turns out you can't do that.
It can't be. You can't do that. I did it for several years in a row.
Well, you
Remember, I
just
sent
didn't
up
get
the
caught.
sex doll who looked like she was screaming the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, that's what this is.
Yeah?
A blow-up doll. It's
Okay.
an adult doll. And turns out it's illegal because oftentimes it could get into airspace of aircraft.
I got a talking to
Flight
about that.
paths. Well, you're lucky it didn't get worse because in this case, he has been arrested. He attached 10 large helium balloons to a sex doll, put it up into the air. We have liftoff. Oh, it's so funny. There's a sex doll. She looks so shocked to be up there.
Sounds pretty funny.
Yeah, so it was really, I did it a bunch of times. It was very funny every time.
Well, nowadays, people film everything for their social media, which
Oh,
is...
yeah. The video sounds funny, too. then.
Hysterical. Look at her. She's screaming. Oh, no, she's not.
The accused is a 19-year-old Vancouver man who has to appear in court and said he still plans on posting this to social media because it's so funny.
He's an idiot. I just mentioned this, I guess, our last show, maybe on Friday. Remember? Because I said I got a letter from Norway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was launching one of those sex dolls full of
Right.
helium and said, contact me when you get this. And somebody from Norway did.
Now
and they
people are
said,
copying you.
yeah. Well, I wasn't the first. I stole it from some other stupid disc jockey.
According to Phoenix Jones's Twitter page,
Yeah.
he is still actively fighting crime.
Actively fighting crime?
Yeah, he's posting up just as recently as a week or so ago of people that he's helped. So, way to go, buddy.
Like who?
A man with a head injury. He was able to get medical to him. Something he just says, a car prowler. He chased off a car prowler. Police are on the scene.
Yeah, no
helping
offense there,
out.
Phoenix. Where were you in my neighborhood the left and right? Touching
all
my
the
stuff.
crime he could
Yeah.
find in Queen Anne.
Yeah.
A woman from Katy, Texas, was arrested in Wichita County for allegedly attempting to smuggle meth to an inmate serving time for capital murder. Sarah Russell, who not only is a terrible criminal, she has a terrible mugshot.
Oh, she really does. I saw that one. She's the bald on top.
Yep.
Why did that happen? Like, did she do that on purpose?
It looks like a guy who wants to do a comb over, so above his ear, he has a really long piece of hair that then would flap over the bald part. For some reason,
Her
she's
head
got
is fully
two of those.
shaved on top, and then she's
Shaved
got
or bald?
shaved. It's like a buzz cut, and then she's got long hair on the sides and back.
I think she's going for a specific look, man.
It's very odd looking.
Yeah, it looks like somebody put a cap on her to do some sort of Frankenstein experiments.
I just want to get this straight. So a lady that wants to smuggle meth to a murderer
Yeah, right.
might make a bad decision.
Yep.
All right.
Well, what she had done was sent a package, and behind the stamp was a huge bulge. They're like, stamps are kind of flat. Like, why is this stamp all bulging out? And that's because she attempted to hide a packet of meth behind there, not successfully.
Yeah, obviously.
This is a dude who's serving life sentences for 2 murders.
Why would you want to have more energy and not sleep in prison?
Right.
All I would want to do is sleep.
Stress, death, and taxes all seem to be inevitable. Wallet Hub has done an analysis of 180 U.S. cities and finding who has the most stress. Where is it the most stressful to live? They looked at things like suicide rates, debt load, divorce, asked people out. So the most stressful city in America, would anyone like to take a guess?
I would go to New York City.
Yeah, New York, Los Angeles, Cleveland. The great ones.
Cleveland is actually closer.
Oh, really?
Cleveland came in at number 3. Detroit.
Oh, yeah. Because you think that guy's going to kill you constantly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
see that guy over there? He's going to kill me.
But they said work hours. They don't have jobs in Detroit.
That's maybe part of the stress.
I'd be stressed out, too, about not having a
Yeah.
job.
All 3 big car makers are still there. There's some jobs for some people,
Sure.
just not enough.
They said the problem is really financial. At number 2, most stressful city to live in, Newark, New Jersey. Cleveland, Birmingham, Alabama, Toledo, Ohio, Baltimore, Wilmington, and Milwaukee at number 8. Stressful places.
They all sound stressful.
Yeah.
Because you got to try and figure out how to get the hell out of there.
Least stressful cities, Fremont, California. Never heard of it. Don't know where it is.
I have and would not have guessed it, certainly.
Yeah.
Bismarck, North Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Overland Park, Kansas, and South Burlington, Vermont, and Scottsdale, Arizona.
I like me some Scottsdale, Arizona. The other ones seem kind of silly.
Anywhere in Kansas, though, is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scottsdale, you just go and get your yoga and your hippie on.
Aside from, not Scottsdale. You better bring $5 million with you if you want to buy a house. You're thinking, what's the other one? Where the vortex is?
Yeah, what is that one? That's the one I'm thinking of.
Sedona.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Scottsdale is where you go
Super
play
rich,
golf
yeah.
and all that. So we've talked about babies being born in strange places.
Yeah.
Pretty recently, a baby was born in, a Burger King parking lot?
Yeah, and that's bound to happen because people keep getting busy in a Burger King bathroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Then there was the baby who was born at Starbucks, and the Starbucks manager ran outside and I said, I don't know nothing about
That's
birthing
right.
no babies, but then did. Now Chick-fil-A. A woman went into Chick-fil-A, her and her husband, and turns out she just needed to use the restroom. And then all of a sudden, the baby said, "This is the time. This is the place."
That happens more than you would think. I've watched a bunch of different documentaries on that. One just called, to give you the title, "I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant."
Oh, yeah,
And
that's right?
they seem semi-normal, these people.
Yeah.
How do you not know you're pregnant, crazy person?
Well, this woman did know. She just thought she had more time, and she didn't. So the manager said, "I'm about to call 911, and I just opened the door to the bathroom, and the lady is screaming." She said by the time the EMTs arrived, it was over. She had her baby inside the Chick-fil-A bathroom.
They've got to make that whole test tube thing where they were making babies in test tubes. They got to make that sound more normal so more people do it.
Yeah.
Because it seems crazy. I opened the door, she was screaming. Then there was a baby, and it was screaming. Everybody was screaming. Why do that? Why not cook one up with a teaspoon of baby and do that?
Pretty sure when they put it in the test tube, they still put it in the lady afterwards.
Yeah.
You sure?
I think so.
Yeah.
Are
They don't
you
just
sure?
get a bigger and bigger test tube every week.
They don't grow it right outside the mama, and that's why it's called the test tube baby.
It's not like a goldfish where it grows. As it grows, you have to get a bigger tank.
Are you guys sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Create
about
it,
So
it.
and
test
then just
tube
put it in
baby.
the lady.
Well, everybody does that nowadays. If you're over 40 years old, I just thought there was a way to make a baby outside the human body.
I think
you
there's a way to
still
make it, but not.
incubate it.
Yeah.
Inside a woman.
Okay.
Like Paul said, you'd have to keep getting a bigger test tube. You have to figure out a way to feed
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
I have to keep the water a certain temperature.
Well,
Enough
there's a
about
chance I'm
test
wrong.
tubes. Is no one going to ask the question about this baby being born at Chick-fil-A?
Oh, does she get free chicken for life?
Thank you, Paul. Yes, she does.
Really?
She will get free Chick-fil-A for life, and she has a guaranteed job starting at age 14. If she wants to work at Chick-fil-A, the job is hers.
Well, I think she'd have to clean the bathrooms every time she goes in there and wants for her free chicken. And is that a good offer? Well, I guess for a teenager, a job at
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A is a good offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free Chick-fil-A
Doesn't
for life is awesome.
Yes, that's good. But I mean the job when you're 14. You get a job at 14 if you want at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to take it.
Yeah, but once you're 19, you should be moving on, I think. But all right, I like the whole story.
It's nice.
And does she have to wait in that crazy line, like directed by the police when she
I
goes
hope
to get her
not.
free chicken?
Yeah.
She should get right to the front of the line.
Yeah, she should.
She's born there, for Pete's sake. Come on.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida story of the day.
Yay.
A man is accused of doing all sorts of strange stuff in Target, but says he has a good reason.
All right.
He had drugs that were blessed to him by God.
That's really neat. I mean, I thought for a while on more than one occasion that my pharmacist was godlike, but mostly it's because she handed over pills without a prescription. By the way, I'd like to point out not my current pal pharmacist. She doesn't do that.
So this dude goes into Target and he decides to drop his pants, exposing his stuff and things.
Yeah.
He then knocked a bunch of stuff off a shelf.
With his
and-
stuff and things?
With his stuff and things.
That's
yep.
a big stuff and
Yeah.
things.
And they said, "Sir, you need to leave." And he said, "No, God has told me to go to Target and destroy items." He then said, pointed at his backside and said, "Kiss this." And they said, "No, thanks." He left. Police arrived at his house. They figured out who he was, went to his house, and he said, "You see this meth pipe? You see all this weed? Blessed to me by God."
Yeah, that guy's been up a while.
Well, he is now behind bars because all those things I said, you can't do that.
No, you absolutely cannot do that.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
News brought to you by Car Pros Rent and Kia. We have so much going on this morning. Music news next. The latest about a sculpture going up in honor of one of Seattle's music greats. We have got all the details. Would you like to appear in a new Tom Petty music video?
Sure. What?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
weird, but yes.
Yeah, I was saying sure, and then I stopped mid-track.
I will tell you how to do just that. Plus, you guys can win tickets to the Mariners game next in sports. Starting with some music news, Chris Cornell will be remembered in the city where he was born. His wife on Friday announced a statue will be erected on August 29th at Seattle's Museum of Pop Culture. This announcement came on what would have been Chris Cornell's 54th birthday. Now, Vicki Cornell says she commissioned sculptor Nick Maris to create a life-size bronze statue in his signature boots, dog tag, and long locks. And she said this is our gift to the community that gave him his start. Born and raised here in Seattle.
That is very nice. And you know what? I mean, I kid around about wanting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but the fact of the matter is, I want my star. But having said that, if that's kind of a thing that you're into, and anyway, some kind of celebration of things you've accomplished, and you're a rock star and you end up outside Mopop, that's pretty cool to me.
Definitely, yeah.
All right. I talked about it a little bit. Told you, you could appear in the new Tom Petty video.
Yeah. Can Tom Petty do it?
Nope.
Here's what they are doing. It's a video for Keep a Little Soul, the first single from Tom Petty's An American Treasure box set. Now, this is a box set that features never-before-seen footage of him and the band. And what they are asking for is memories of Tom Petty. We are making a very special music video in honor of Tom Petty and his 40-year relationship with his fans. We would like your help. We invite you to share your moment with Tom and the band, a picture you took with Tom, a video moment from a show, or any expression of love for the band that you have photographed and cherished. So you can say you were at a Tom Petty concert and you took some video. They want it. Say you were a radio guy and you met Tom Petty one time and have that picture. They will be taking all of those, the ones that pass the muster, and making it into like one big, long music video. People's memories.
I get it. I can see it in my little head. I like it.
Sounds kind of fun,
Yeah.
too.
It sounds very nice. So you can get more information on this on their website. And this deluxe edition will be arriving on September 28th. All right. Guardians of the Galaxy has been unbelievably successful for Lake Stevens treasure Chris Pratt.
This guy. Come on.
It's been hugely successful for Bradley Cooper, whose face doesn't even appear in it.
Yeah.
My son rented Guardians of the Galaxy Ultimate War, whatever, War Times Infinity, whatever that is. And he said it was great, but no spoiler here. Lots of people get killed in that. I don't know who's coming back for Guardians of the Galaxy unless they bring them back to life.
I'm trying to think who died in that one.
I think 50% of everybody.
Did his love interest? She didn't die.
Whose love interest?
Chris Pratt.
The green chick?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I can't remember. I didn't think so. I thought it had a happy ending.
There's something about this guy says there's too many people in the universe, and you're all really bugging me. I guess an alien, Thanos. And Thanos has the whammy stick, and he hits the whammy stick, and half of everybody dies. Not like half of you.
Yeah, okay.
You're fine, she's dead, or she's fine and you're dead.
Okay.
I'm always fine.
Well, it's not all happiness when it comes to the third episode or third edition of Guardians of the Galaxy. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is being made, and it will be made without James Gunn. He has been fired by Walt Disney Studios after some offensive...
Gunn's been fired?
Yeah.
Get it? Gunn's been fired? Yeah.
Some tweets that James Gunn had written in the past came to light, and they were pretty controversial and distasteful, is maybe a polite way of putting it.
Okay, because at distasteful, I don't think anybody should be fired.
There were jokes about pedophilia.
It's distasteful.
Yeah. And pretty shocking stuff. Like stuff I wouldn't be comfortable saying on the radio, but not necessarily stuff that you wouldn't hear in a comedy club. Like, you know, and I think comics get a lot more leeway than apparently film directors.
Film directors, yeah.
So he has been fired, and we have not heard who will be replacing him. I'm sure people are clamoring because, as I said, that's kind of a successful movie franchise.
It's a great franchise to get a hold of. It's weird. How far back did they have to go?
It was just a couple years.
A couple years ago?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of hate it.
That he was fired, or
I didn't see the tweets, but I've said who's that guy we used to work with? Ray. He's a big boss. He's still a big boss in radio. It's a Ray something Field.
Okay.
Do you remember him?
No.
He used to call me a bunch of bad names.
Yeah.
In kidding, because he really liked me. So one day I wrote him, "Hey man, I'm either going to sue you or write you this letter." And I wrote a long letter about my my criminal past. I made it up. It's kind of jokes, but they're filthy.
Yeah.
That I committed crimes against man and nature. If you dig that up, I'm fired. I was thinking of the guy's name.
and that might be the case that people, it's crazy that people have tweets that someone wrote years ago.
Yeah.
Because they've now been deleted, and I don't know when he deleted them, but somebody took screenshots before he did. But I was surprised by the number of fairly offensive,
Oh, really?
tweets. I saw 20 plus of
Now,
them.
do any of these tweets that you saw make you believe he's a child molester?
No,
Or just has bad taste in jokes?
Yeah, it seemed like he just has really bad taste in jokes. And what he said in his statement was, I was trying to be provocative. I was trying to be shocking. It was early on in my career. I was trying to get people to notice me. And certainly he was provocative and shocking, but now, it's certainly, you put them all side by side and you go, wow, this guy's terrible. I'm sure he didn't tweet those all out in the same day.
Right, still. And yeah, sitting around going, wait till Steve sees this one.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, and it's tough, too, because he's a grown man. There's a pitcher who's been making news.
Mark Rayfield.
There you go.
I've heard the name, yeah.
Big radio boss. He was your boss for a long time.
Yeah, I never met the dude.
You
never
shouldn't.
laid eyes on that man.
He's creepy. He's creepy male.
Yeah. I literally never met the guy, and I know he was a boss of some kind.
Apparently he has the dirt on Danny.
Yeah. But what I was saying, there's a pitcher who's also been making a lot of news for tweets he wrote that were found to be very offensive. And he was at the All-Star game, and these tweets resurfaced, and he was horrified and said, I'm really sorry. The difference was he was 17 when he made those tweets.
Yeah.
And he says, yes, I said all those things, and it's reprehensible. He is now 24. This guy, Gunn, he's 51. So he wasn't
He was
a kid.
an adult when Twitter started happening.
Right.
Twitter's not that fresh that he has the excuse of being a stupid kid.
Right.
My son one time wrote me a letter, and it started with something about my N-word, and then spelled with an A at the end. Not an R.
Jeez.
I said, are you out of your mind? Because I know he's not a racist. I've seen kids saying these kind of words. I said, let me tell you right now, if you go to do one important thing in your life, you're going to be rereading these tweets and these emails.
The thing with the pitcher that pitched at the All-Star game, I found kind of extra dirty that somebody had those and waited until he's on the pitching mound at the All-Star game to put him out. Put him out whenever you find him, but to wait for him to be, kind of, it's the biggest spotlight in his career.
Yep.
And then you go, oh, hey, look what this guy did. I don't know.
One word, chicks.
Yeah.
Only chicks get that mad.
Yeah.
Only chicks get that mad.
Yeah.
It has been confirmed that Sarah Palin's daughter, Bristol, will be joining Teen Mom OG.
No way.
Yeah. Despite the fact she's 27,
Right.
she did have her first child at 16 years old. So she is joining Teen Mom OG. One of the other teen moms, Farrah Abrams, something or but.
Yeah, fair. I know her.
She has been let go. She has been arrested. There's lots of drama with this chick. So
Well,
Bristol
she made a
Palin-
decent living doing porn. If anybody in that show could make a decent living, she made a decent living doing porn, and they were accepting that. And then she started getting arrested and being a crazy person.
Well, it looks like Bristol Palin will be doing okay financially. Sources say for her first season, $250,000.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Which maybe explains why she's doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Money explains why I do almost anything I've ever done in my whole life.
Yeah, I'd be on Teen Mom OG for $250,000.
Yeah, me too.
Be weird because I didn't have a kid when I was a teenager or ever.
That's true. Yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a hugely successful TV series that ran from 96 to 2003. Started a lot of careers, David Boreanaz, Sarah Michelle Gellar. It's going to get the reboot treatment. And they said no actors have been cast, but the lead, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, will be a Black American actress. So rebooting it with a total different twist. We don't know if everybody's going to be or just the lead. So Sarah Michelle Gellar's role will be going to a woman of color. In some other TV news, Colony will end after this season. Season 3 is about to wrap, and so will the show. Man in the High Castle has been renewed for a season 4. Winona Earp also renewed for a season 4 on Sci-Fi. Freeform has renewed sci-fi drama Cloak and Dagger for a second season.
How many of these shows do you know, Paul?
One, maybe two. A Man in the High Castle I'd heard of.
I've heard. Have you ever seen any of these things?
I think I've seen a couple episodes.
Because I've heard of Man in the High Castle. I heard another one, but I've never seen. There's a network. There's life going on without us, Paul.
When you said Colony's been canceled, I thought, oh, that's terrible. I was just about to hear about it and maybe watch it.
Colony's a really good show. It just, it's one of those that kind of starts to run out of steam. Like, you kind of need to wrap this up. You've told the story, and now that you feel like they're just stretching it out. It's got that super handsome guy, Sawyer from Lost.
Oh, Sawyer.
And the hot chick from Prison Break.
Prison Break.
Cloak and Dagger. Not a clue. It's on Freeform, but
well, how could you possibly have heard of Cloak and Dagger? If you see them, they're not doing their job well.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Taking a look at the weekend for your Seattle Mariners. They beat the White Sox 3-1 Friday night. That's the game where Eddie Vedder
was pitching.
And Mike McCready both threw out the first pitch, one better than the other.
They both threw out the first pitch?
Yep, they each had a ball, they each had a player, and they each threw out a first pitch. One of them bounced and one of them did not. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, can I take a second to say...
Yeah.
One guy throws out the first pitch. Two guys. We're friends. We're in a band. We work together. We wear hats. Whatever the reason is, one guy throws in the first pitch.
You see it a lot. Like, the whole a faction of the Special Olympics, and there'll be 30 people out there throwing out a ceremonial first pitch.
Well, that doesn't count.
It's whoever gets to the catcher first. That's the actual first pitch. The other guy, it's the second pitch.
Eddie Vedder threw out the first pitch.
See, there you go.
In a batting helmet, too.
Yeah.
They were like, it's not a pitching helmet, dude. It's a batting helmet.
Why did he wear a batting helmet?
I don't know. He's just being goofy.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to have something Mariners on,
He was cute. And he was hanging out with Ichiro. Saturday, the White Sox beat the Mariners 5-0. Yesterday, the Mariners beat the White Sox 8-2. Beautiful day at the ballpark yesterday. Big victory for the Seattle Mariners. Yeah. If you were there, not only did you see a victory, you saw, felt, and heard Mariners KZOK music trivia. This is a song that lights up this stadium. You need to remember it because it's your ticket to winning tickets to an upcoming game. If you know the song that played yesterday, call us right now. 800-255. The first person to get it right wins tickets to what, Derek?
Tickets for the game on August 1st at 1:10 versus the Houston Astros, which just happens to be Mariners Baseball Card Pack Day.
Mariners Baseball Card Pack Day.
Call now, 800-252-1025. Golf yesterday. Francesco Molinari. He was the winner at the Open, becoming Italy's first major champion.
I was going to say no way. No offense to my people, the Italians, but I just don't see Italians being world-class great golfers. I'm sure everybody in the world can golf if you practice. I don't know. I never thought about it. Neat. Another thing for me to brag about.
What happened with Tiger? I mean, he was looking great.
Tiger was looking great. He was in the lead on Sunday, and then he started to kind of crash and burn. On number 11, he put a shot into the crowd, which ended up in a double bogey. And on 12, he got another bogey, so it knocked him out of the lead, and he ended up at 5 under, tied for third.
Oh, that's tied for third.
That's way better than he's been doing 20th and things like that.
And he had dropped back on Friday, made the cut to go into the weekend, but he wasn't looking all that hot.
And he can recover from this. I don't know. I don't know they will, and I don't care about golf, and I don't particularly care about Tiger Woods, but I guess I do because I'd kind of like to see him come back.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of experts are saying this performance does indicate something very positive for him, that maybe this is his comeback, that he'll win his next major.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath on that one. And it always makes me wonder, and I'm not trying to make a joke here. Remember he got caught cheating on his wife and she brained him?
Yeah.
He never played the same after that.
Right.
How hard did she hit him? She knocked the golf out of him?
Yeah.
It also could have been the numerous back surgeries he had, but that's okay.
Oh, those.
On Saturday, the Sounders beat the Vancouver Whitecaps 2-0. They play next on Wednesday, the San Jose Earthquakes, 7:30 match time. The Storm were defeated by the Dream yesterday. They play tomorrow against the Indiana Fever at 4. Taking a look at football jerseys, it looks like the backup quarterback is selling more than the starting quarterback.
Wow.
Which is a little bit weird. They said that the number of sales looks like Tom Brady also doing quite well at number 2. Giants running back Saquon Barkley was in 4th, selling a whole lot of jerseys.
I don't know how I tune in and out sometimes. Who's the guy that's selling the most instead of the lead?
It's what the Derek? Are you?
Oh, maybe I didn't tune in and out.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Thank you.
No, he's on. I forgot. Just blanked on his name. The Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
Oh, Nick Foles.
Oh, the guy that won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
He's still a quarterback.
Was the backup.
Yeah. No, I got it.
And Cristiano Ronaldo, he went to Juventus, right? He was playing for Real Madrid. Then he went over to Juventus. They said in 24 hours of making the announcement, $60 million worth of jerseys were sold.
It's a lot of jerseys.
I'm thinking people are a little excited he's joining the team.
Do you remember, because they said that we were talking about Chris Cornell going up in front of the Mopop, and rightly so, but when you said a bronze statue, right?
Bronze statue.
Made me think of that guy, Ronaldo's statue. Do you remember that?
That was so awful.
Oh my God, it was horrendous and awful and bad and sad. And there's pictures of him standing by it smiling, so he's obviously a very good sport. But there's a new one now. They commissioned, same artist. And I don't know if he was commissioned or he just said, I'm too embarrassed. And he made another one, and it's much, much better.
There's a picture up on our website at KZOK.com of TMZ had a photo of the Chris Cornell statue that's being worked on, and it's just a close-up of the face. And at first look, it doesn't look a whole lot like him either.
Jeez.
So I'll be interested to see when the full thing comes out, how much it looks like him.
Well, and it's also tough because it's bronze. He's this weird like chocolate milk color.
Yeah, and it's very smooth, too.
Very smooth.
Yeah.
I wonder how they do those, because they don't go and get themselves what's called a death mask, right?
I don't think so.
They don't.
No.
So they make some kind of mold. That statue's not chiseled and things like that.
Right.
They do it. I don't know how they do it, but if they're doing it with a mold, how is it terrible?
Yeah.
It should automatically look like the guy.
Right.
A British soccer star touring the United States with his team broke a Guinness World Record for the game Hungry, Hungry Hippos.
I love that game.
It's so fun.
So fun.
Axel Tuanzebe is 20 years old. He is touring California with Manchester United.
Is he from Africa? Is that an African name?
It's a strange name, Axel Tuanzebe. I'm
Because
guessing.
I'm going to go to a lot of Africa. Hungry hippos are not that funny. They're the #1 animal person killer.
Yeah.
Now, there are pictures of him with his coaching staff all chanting his name. Everybody's excited. He has a Guinness World Record certificate because the adjudicator was there. One of his teammates said, congratulations. He broke a record, clearing the Hungry Hungry Hippos game of marbles in a record 17.36 seconds.
So the record was to play the fastest.
Yes.
He's an idiot.
Why? That's a great record to break.
Okay, let's see. Look on the box itself, and when it says for 3-year-olds on up, that might be an indication why this man's an idiot. But there's no skill involved in the game.
You just mash down.
You just
as hard
mash
as you
down
can
on the handle.
Yeah.
All right, so Paul, bring in Jelly Bean's Hungry Hungry Hippos game, and Danny can try to mash it and see if he'll beat 17.36
I bet
seconds.
he could. Yeah.
Because that's exactly what I said. But it's a dumb thing for a grown-up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, do you too?
Especially a dumb thing for a grown-up from Africa where the hungry, hungry hippos eat you.
But the fact that he broke the record means the record existed before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Other people have done it. It's
Somebody
in a
else was
book.
stupid and slower.
Yeah.
I'm guessing a lot of this stuff is actually harder than you think it is. Like the Hungry Hungry Hippos is probably a
17
lot harder.
seconds seems like a long time.
To be honest with you, it's not that harder than we think. We've played. Have you played 100 times?
Sure, yeah.
I played 100 times. I mean, I don't know that I could get them all off the board in 17 seconds, but in 21 for sure.
Yeah.
And he is British, but was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
One of the worst places in the whole wide world for danger.
Well, thankfully, he lives in England. Hey, congratulations to Tom in Monroe. He was at the Mariners game yesterday and knew that the song, Mariners KZOK Music Trivia, was Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith. Congratulations, Tom. Going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to pick up, I don't know, I've been talking about hippos. I forget. What did he win?
Tom won tickets for the game on August 1st at 1:10 versus the Houston Astros, which just happens to be Mariners Baseball Card Pack Day.
Mariners Baseball Card Pack Day.
Come watch the Mariners do battle with the Houston Astros, and if you're one of the first 20,000 fans, you could pick up a special Mariners Baseball Card Pack from Topps. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Awesome. Thank you. The Mariners are off today. Tomorrow they host the San Francisco Giants with a 7:10 start time on Root Sports. So you'll have another chance to win tickets Wednesday morning, just about this same time. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Listen to the words she says. They're important. If you get a DUI in the state of Washington, terrible things could happen, including jail, and definitely, most likely, lose your license. The lawyers at 1-800-DUI-AWAY fight very hard for you guys. They'll meet you in Seattle, Everett, and Tacoma, free of charge. If the unfortunate happens to you and you get a DUI, don't delay. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. All right, so it's Monday morning, and the sun has not fallen from the sky. That means there's a new game from the mind of Paul, and it's at 7:20 this morning, and it's called See Fair or See Fair. Play it, win, and you can win a whole big package to go to See Fair.
That sounds fun.
Does sound fun.
And Seafair is right around the corner, August 3rd.
Yeah.
It's the 23rd already. Where's July going?
No, you can't do that while it's still here. You can't say, where's it going?
It's still here, and there's like more than a week left.
Yeah, no, it's not going anywhere.
Earlier in the show, we were talking about a baby being born at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And it was an accident. Nobody planned this.
You mean the birth or getting pregnant?
The birth.
I don't know about the other one either.
Well, because oftentimes you are gifted something,
Right.
as was true for this baby, gifted free food for life, plus a guaranteed job if they would like it, starting at age 14, which is the age you can legally start working. So
At Chick-fil-A.
I think anywhere in America for not a babysitter's job, that legally you can't work till 14.
I think
Sure.
that's the age you can get married at Chick-fil-A, too.
Yeah.
I think. It's their rules.
But I mean, let's focus on really the important part here.
Free chicken.
Free chicken.
Free
Free food
chicken.
for life.
See, I would have thought that baby would be delicious with mayonnaise. That's not the point at all.
But I love the baby being born in an airplane and they get free
Yeah,
flights
That's
for
awesome.
life.
Yeah.
But I mean, on the lower end of things, like if I was born somewhere to get free stuff for life, I'd be totally cool with Starbucks. My mom,
That's what
like,
you'd pick?
yeah, I love
A place to get
Starbucks.
coffee?
Every single day I get a free coffee.
It's $5. I'll lend you $5. Dream higher.
Well, like, honestly, Delta. I would love the free flights for life.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know what those parameters really are. Can you fly 10 times a year? Once a year?
I don't know, but there are parameters. You can't
Yeah.
just live on planes.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, yeah, I'll be born on Delta.
Because I will tell you this, that when I got in some trouble with the law in 1985, and Oprah Winfrey called, and I didn't want to do it. It's embarrassing. I mean, I've been arrested. And then she said, we'll fly you first class. And that's food both ways.
Yeah.
So if you could figure out a way to live on planes, they'll feed you, they'll drink you.
Yeah. But on this, like, the funner side, if I am a regular person, which I am, with a job and a husband and obligations, I want mom to have given birth to me in Starbucks so I can have a free coffee every day.
Yeah, I think you should dream higher.
All right,
I
where's your mom delivering you?
I feel so bad because it's so obvious. I feel like I'm stealing some callers, but they haven't called yet. So what the hell? Disneyland, of course.
Yeah.
The happiest place on earth. What are you, crazy? In one of the teacups. And what's happening is my mom doesn't want to give birth yet, but we're spinning so fast that I just fly out.
Absolutely.
And then they give her stuff.
Is it true? I can't remember if I read this somewhere or Danny, if you told me this, that they've stopped doing that at Disney because people were intentionally doing that, waiting.
As far as I know, that is completely true.
Crazy. But for many, that's a great call. Be born in Disney, free Disney for life.
For
Yeah.
everybody, that's a great call.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want free Disney for life?
I want free Disney over life.
Right.
Well, you guys listening, where would you want to have been born to get something free for life? I'm going low with Starbucks. I get it. Every day I get a free Starbucks, but Danny's going pretty smart.
Going
with
high.
Disney. Yep.
$100 just to get in.
Yeah.
You're going to be high?
Yes.
Okay.
That'd be stupid.
800-252-1025 or text you to answer to 90627 now.
All right, so some young lady gave birth at a Chick-fil-A, in my opinion, just for the chicken. But she will get chicken, and she'll also get a job, or the baby will get a job when it turns 14. So where would you want to be born because you could get stuff for life? 1-800-252-1025 or text away to 90627.
Let's talk to Austin in Port Orchard.
Hey, Austin.
Good morning.
What's up?
If I had the choice, I would be shot out of my mother at the 50-yard line at Lambeau Field.
I think we're combining a couple of activities, man. But I will accept that.
Yeah,
That's
change
a
that to
great answer.
CenturyLink for people here. Yeah.
Yeah, which we've had a dozen or more people already texting to 90627. I want to be born at a Seahawks game.
Yeah.
And not only is that a cool claim to fame, but then you get free Seahawks tickets
Right.
for life.
Yeah.
And what if you got pregnant at the game? Like last year's game? And you said, I'm going to deliver this baby at this year's game.
Sure,
It'll be
yeah.
awesome.
What about Gannon calling from Cle Elum? Where would you want to be born to have gotten free something for life?
The Bunny Ranch in Las Vegas.
Yeah. First thing I thought of. By the way, prostitution illegal in Las Vegas. But you're still right. It's right in Nevada, and it's Dennis Hoff is the owner. Not that I thought this out or anything, buddy.
800-252-1025. Where would you want to have been born to get something free for life? It happens on airplanes, which surprises me that they're continuing to do it. Danny wants to have been born in Disney.
Yeah.
Free Disney for life. What is it for you, Drama in Renton?
Hey, good morning, y'all.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, just real quick, I heard you guys talking earlier about Phoenix Jones, and I know him because he's a friend of mine. I actually just saw him a few weeks ago at the store. So he's working currently on a Netflix show.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's very cool.
Who knew? That's very cool. Thank you for the update,
And I'd
Drama.
watch that because I'm super curious about a guy who puts on a wild outfit and puts himself into harm's way. There's something very special about that guy. Some guys could say crazy, some guy could say interesting. I'll go with interesting. I'd like to see what that guy's about.
Yeah, going to Netflix. Right on.
Drama, are you part of the team, the squad? Are you a superhero too?
In my own mind.
Yeah. Him too, really.
So, Drama, where would you like to have been born to get something free for life?
This is why I say in my own mind I'm crazy. I would have loved to have been born in an ammo factory so I could have free ammunition for life.
That's interesting as hell. That would have never occurred to me. So you want to be born because are bullets that expensive?
No, because I make my own, but still.
It adds up, right?
It does add up. And if you were to give free ammunition and you know, as often as I go shooting at the range, I'd love it.
That's very funny.
Fair enough, man. If that's something you're into and you can get it free of charge just by giving birth at the ammo factory.
It's our friend Joe in Lake Stevens.
Hey, Joe, how the hell are you?
Hey, I'm doing awesome, and a happy hot Monday, Wausau!
Made it feel better now.
Joe, did you hear the last caller who wants to be born in an ammunition factory?
Awfully close.
All right.
How about being born in Cabela's?
Yeah, because
Oh,
then you
yeah.
can also get the guns that shoot
Yep.
the ammo
Right.
while simultaneously catching fish.
Very
Absolutely.
smart, Joe.
That's
That's a great
brilliant.
call.
Yeah.
He could get a hunting bow.
You know, I went past, maybe it's
outfit.
Tulalip, I'm not positive, but going up to Canada, and there's a Cabela's right in the driveway as you try and drive in. You almost have to stop there.
Yeah, it's a
like-
fun store.
I know, but why? I don't know that you should sell guns that close to a casino. What are you, crazy? Nobody's in a good mood when they leave a casino.
Where would you want to be born to get something free for life? We're talking about this because a baby was born at Chick-fil-A and the company did right by that baby and is giving them free food for life. Alex in Tacoma, good morning.
Hey, good morning, you people.
Morning. What do you mean, you people?
Oh, I love it. Well, based on my financial situation here, I'd like to have been born in Fort Knox, huh?
You know, that it really occurred to me, the Fort Knox thing. And
Bone at a bank.
Then I thought the bank would be nice.
It didn't even occur to me.
Really? Oh, because
Free money for life.
you want a cup of coffee.
Yes.
My God. And we're all going to be born in banks and Fort Knox and stuff. I think that's completely reasonable because they have to give us stuff, right? That's the premise of this little game we're playing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Fort Knox. He's right. Thank you,
Alex gets all the gold.
Yeah.
We've got a similar text into 90627. I wish I were born at Tiffany's so I could get free diamonds for life.
Ooh.
Justin in Oak Harbor is currently remodeling his home. He wishes he was born at Home Depot.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
That's a good one, man.
And another text, I was born in a hospital. Why didn't they give me free health care for life?
Boy, that's a
feel
good
cheated,
one.
yeah.
That's a good one.
That's super funny.
Do you know there's a song by Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash that goes, "We got married in a fever"? What the hell does that mean, and what do I get for it?
I don't know.
A fever?
If we got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. And those are all the words. Is that what that is?
I believe so.
All right, then.
Ed in Hotlanta, good morning.
Hey, Ed.
Hi, I was hoping to be born in a pre-racist Papa John's franchise.
You just hurt Danny.
You almost killed me.
Dallas and Lake Forest Park, where would you like to have been born to get something free for life?
Oh, in Irving, Texas Stadium. I've been a Cowboy fan since the Ice Bowl.
Well, and you can't get season tickets, so why not have been born there?
Why can't you get season
It's
tickets?
just really hard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Too
just
long a
like
wait list.
Seahawks, yeah.
I don't know about them Cowboys anyway.
Paul, where would you like to have been born to get something free for life?
I wish I were born in a Sprint store so I could get free cell service plus a new iPhone every 6 months when they come out. Either that or 7-Eleven so that every day is free Slurpee day.
Well, it's one of the same. That's nice.
I
would
mean, the
go-
Slurpee's it's cheap, right? It's only $1, but just the idea of free
Yep.
Slurpee day every day is pretty awesome.
I will join you in the yummy drink and other stuff. I want to be born at a Sonic.
There you go.
yeah.
in
Slushies for
in the
life.
back of like 1950s type convertible.
Yeah.
It's just important to me.
You've even discovered your
Well,
vessel.
they do car shows there every now and again. We pull up, guys like Bob's Big Boy also does it. We pull. I want to be in the best muscle car that they've got, and everybody go, "Hey, swear to God, I think that lady just had a baby right there. Oh, he's handsome. He must be Danny."
Tori, where would you want to have been born to get something free for life?
I want to be born at the Beecher's Handmade Cheese Factory.
Oh,
Free cheese curds.
Yeah,
several people also texting in, I wish I were born in a brewery. Free beer. How do you
Right,
not
Heck
think about
yeah.
All right, then I want to be born at the CVS.
that? Free drugs for
Free
life.
drugs for life.
I thought for sure Tori was going to say Kiarina.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
free
almost said the
concerts.
Humane Society, actually, but
Oh,
free
free
animals
stuff
for
to put in your
life.
freezer for
What?
life.
So they'll stop calling you?
And Derek, where would you want to have been born to get something free for life?
I think a Ferrari dealership would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Fastest delivery ever.
That's totally true.
Hey, guys, look at the time.
It's
Look
the
at the
time.
We've got a new game from from the very brilliant mind of Paul. It is called See, Fair, or Seafair.
See fair or see fair.
This is your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Seafair Weekend Festival. Watch the Albert Lee Appliance Cup hydroplane races, the Boeing Seafair Air Show, August 3rd through 5th at Genesee Park on Lake Washington. If you want to play and win this, call right now, 800-252-1025. The new game, See, Fair, or Seafair, your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Seafair Weekend Festival, August 3rd through the 5th, Genesee Park, Lake Washington. In order to win, you're going to have to listen to Danny's definitions and tell us, is he talking about the word sea, fair, or seafair?
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
It doesn't sound too difficult, but you never know. Our contestant is John in Lake Taps.
John, let me ask you a very important question. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Today I do.
Awesome. And do you understand the rules of the game?
Well, we're going to find out.
Here we go then. This sea, fair, or seafair can be an adjective to mean in accordance with the rules. It can be an adverb, meaning without attempting to achieve an unjust advantage. Or it could be a noun, as in the place I like to go to eat corn dogs and funnel cakes. Can you tell us, is the word sea, fair, or seafair?
I would have to say that's the fair.
It would have to be
Is that
correct.
right? I didn't really know yet. Yes, that is absolutely right, sir.
Congratulations.
And Danny, I have your muscle car in my garage.
What is it?
a 1970 Super Sport El Camino.
Okay, possibly one of the coolest cars in the whole world. And it could also drive my super cool motorcycle. I like it.
Nice,
There you
John.
go.
Buddy, you are going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up your tickets to the Seafair Weekend Festival. The rest of you, if you would like to get more details or buy tickets, seafair.com. Plus, we'll give you another chance to win them tomorrow at 7:20. And the big news of the day is next.
If it's big and it's news, it must be brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE or go to goldbergjones.com.
We'll start with a big story about Starbucks. They announced they are opening an all-signing store that will cater to deaf customers. This will be the first of its kind in America. It will open in October and will be staffed only by people fluent in American Sign Language. The signing store will feature custom mugs, artwork that were designed by deaf
I have a question.
artists. Yes.
What happens when your coffee's ready?
Most of the time I think you watch anyway.
Don't they yell your name?
Yeah, but they'll just sign your name.
Well,
So
if you're
you'll
not
watch-
looking.
You'll have to. It's like when you wait for your Starbucks anyway, and if you walk away and you're not in hearing, you still have to know, and your name is written on the cup.
Also, just because they're signing doesn't mean they're not also speaking. Most times, if someone's signing, they're also speaking.
Is that true?
Yeah, sure.
If
if somebody's translating for a deaf person,
Oh, then
they're
that guy's
speaking the
often
words and-
speaking.
yeah.
As I my dealings with the hearing impaired is they don't speak and don't wish to speak.
Some do and some don't. It's choice.
These employees aren't necessarily hearing impaired. They
Right.
just happen to know sign
But the
language.
customers
That
are.
is true.
Right, and some customers will be.
There's got to be a point to having 100% signing people. Somebody must be hearing impaired.
Well, think of it this way as well. You don't have to be deaf to go there.
Right.
So if you do want to go in there and order, they probably will have somebody there who can say, Daddy, your caramel macchiato's ready.
Well, it's very like Paul was right. It's very likely everybody working there, or most people working there, are going to be able to hear and speak. They're doing this as a courtesy.
No, Starbucks says this is an effort spearheaded by a team of deaf Starbucks employees. So this will be manned not strictly by, but many of them will be deaf.
Seems like a lot of work. People, the deaf people I have known can make their intentions known pretty easily.
Yeah.
Well, it is being applauded by...
But nobody can hear it.
It's very funny.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Finally get on board.
We've all heard of storage wars and the concept, yes?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, you get this storage unit and they say, we're not going to show you what's inside.
Right.
But it could be yours for $15,000. Well, an art gallery owner decided to take a gamble. They said, we know there's some artwork inside. It's a storage locker. Don't really know what the artwork is. It's yours for $15,000. He's like, well, it's kind of a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I'm out. Because I was thinking, I've seen that show, and I'm going, okay, I'll do this. I'm out. Right there, 15 G's, I'm out.
$15,000. He said, man, that's not nothing. But decided to do it. And inside found half a dozen paintings by famed artist Willem de Kooning that they say will fetch tens of millions of dollars.
See the Frontier guy?
Is he the Frontier guy?
He paints Native Americans, cowboys.
I don't believe so.
No, yeah, I'm guessing. I know nothing about art.
They said
He's a Dutch abstract expressionist.
So close. So close.
They said they also think there is a painting in there by Swiss-born modernist Paul Klee, which will also bring in potentially millions of dollars.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Some very colorful buffalo I'm looking at.
Are they really?
I think they're buffalo. There are a lot of splotches on canvas.
They're trunk buffalo. They're all blurry.
But yeah, a lot of color.
Danny, you've got several tattoos.
I do.
Have you ever counted?
I've tried to, and I don't get it. Because they're either on my back or on my butt.
Right. Well, one man has 90% of his body covered in ink. His name is Adam Curly Kale. He's
That's his name?
Yep.
Curly Tail?
curly kale.
Curly kale.
Yes.
Either way, I don't like kale.
No.
And he's 32 years old.
Yeah.
Started tattooing his body when he was diagnosed with cancer 12 years ago. So some people, when that happens, they're like, I'm going to get some sort of tattoo. I have a girlfriend who's has one that when she beat cancer that says F cancer.
Yeah, my sister's thinking about something around her boob area.
Well, this guy says he has decided his Who's It friends and his nipples are interfering with his art, so he has undergone surgery to have them removed.
And somebody did it?
He had to go to Mexico to a special hospital in Guadalajara to have somebody do it.
The special hospital in Guadalajara. Listen, I feel internally I identify as a woman. Yeah, we can't really help you. $9. Okay, I'm chopping that thing off.
Yeah, they did it. I'm not sure how he... you do need some hormones in your body, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how things are working for him.
And you still need to be able to urinate.
I'm hoping they gave him a place to do that.
Yeah.
Cleveland. That's the place I do that. Never anywhere else.
Don't look at the photos unless you are feeling pretty brave.
I had a guy on my very first talk show, Danny, and he had 185 Disney tattoos all over his body, and they saw the show and sued him for like a lot, and he lost because they were copywritten. Yeah, you can't do that.
After being released from jail early, former Dukes of Hazzard star John Schneider has asked the court to restore his original jail sentence for unpaid spousal support. He was sentenced to 3 days behind bars after he failed to pay his ex-wife, Elvira Schneider. He owed her $150,000 worth of alimony. But he got to jail. They're like, yeah, there's overcrowding. We're going to process you and let you out the back.
Right.
Well,
Which is way better than going in the back, if you know what I'm saying, in jail.
Well, he now says, I am willing and able to accept punishment, but I can't pay, so make it go away and I will go to jail.
Wait. He can't pay what?
Alimony.
Right. And then make it go away?
Yeah, he cannot pay her the money, so he'd rather serve jail than be forced to pay.
And are those his options? He doesn't have to pay if he goes to jail?
That's what he's asking for.
No, I think he still has to pay.
Well, then I
want
to go to jail.
Up, right.
Well, he can't afford it.
Right. I can afford it.
Yes, you can. So this is going to keep happening.
What team are you on?
So this isn't child support.
Right.
This is spousal support. He says,
If you talk to my son, I'm getting robbed.
She says, I don't have the money to pay her, so put me in jail.
Right.
So he's going to take a look at his finances and decide what to do.
One time I was in trouble with the law, and the judge sentenced me to something about getting clean or 30 days in jail. And I took the 30 days, and he wasn't expecting it at all and didn't send me to jail.
Oh.
And thank you, Your Honor.
If I say selfies, everybody gets a ribbon. Living in mom and dad's basement.
Millennials.
Man
buns.
I thought it's interesting because the first thing I think of is you, Paul.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think somebody's going to take a selfie and fall off the Grand Canyon. And everybody looking going to go, meh, that's weird.
Millennials. One Alabama minor league baseball team has decided to do Millennial Night. They advertised on social media and they said, want free things without doing much work? Well, you're in luck. Riverwalk Stadium will be hosting Millennial Friendly Night with plenty of participation ribbons just for showing up. They'll be napping in selfie stations along with a lot of avocado toast.
Oh, nice.
Super nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I like every bit of it. Shame them little bastards, but still give them something.
So this is the Tampa Bay Rays AA affiliate. And as you can imagine, some people are finding it hilarious and other people are offended.
That is always, every time I tweet, and I tweet at least 3 times a week, Amy says, you're going to get a couple of people, and it could be as not, I really love my cat. And it says, if you love that cat, you would set it free. You hate animals. Like, what? How is that happening?
This is the Montgomery Biscuits. And one person...
the Montgomery Biscuits.
Yep, one person tweeted, bravo, biscuits, but millennials won't dig in unless it's gluten-free.
Right, very like it.
A lot of funny responses, but they say, you know what? Some people are not happy, think we're making fun. So what?
What?
We're doing it.
By the way, here's all you have to say to a millennial that doesn't like what you wrote. Come get me. And they'll go, I'm tired. My mom's not here.
That's the big news of the day, which was brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men. 1-800-DIVORCE or online, goldbergjones.com.
You guessed it. There's more coming right up. It's Business News with Jim the Flagger.
And now, business news from Jim the Flagger.
Lyft has announced plans to buy bike share operator Motivate as they try to fend off competition from Uber's purchase of cycle sharing startup Jump Bikes. Lyft won't comment on the deal's value, but according to sources, the company will pay around $250 million. $250 million on bikes? Come on, guys. Look to the future. You're supposed to be blowing that cash on flying cars. Were the Jetsons riding around on bright green loaner bikes? I don't think so.
All right. Well said. A point well made. Well, here's some news. Derek and Tori are going out drinking again on a school night. This just in. Let's see. KZOK is going to be at Tito's, handmade vodka. It's a little event they got going on tomorrow.
They're going to be at Henry's.
Henry's First Avenue Tavern. That's exactly where they're going to be. From 5 to 7 p.m., Derek and Tori, they're going to be there on the patio, hanging out, going, hey, it's us. Then I don't know what they do from there, but it's pretty exciting anyway. So get on out there, swing by, and enjoy tasty cocktails with Tito's handmade vodka, America's original craft vodka.
I love Henry's. I was there for pre-funk on Friday before the Mariners game, and they always have some specialty cocktails outside, which in this case is going to be all Tito's stuff, but their beer list is also ridiculous. They've got cornhole, and then, of course, you can just walk across the street to go to the Mariners game.
It's a very cool setup. I like it. I approve.
Kind of a bit of a no-brainer.
That's my wife's number one vodka these days. Seems
Tito's?
to be Tito's handmade vodka.
Yeah.
We were talking about a mall in New Jersey who have decided to try offering special parking, like the primo parking spots right by the door, for $5.
Yeah.
Now, mall parking is free, except these primo spots.
I think it's worth it. I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
That's kind of a lot of loot. $5 to park.
I will spend money on things that I really want, and I don't want I mind the walk. I like to walk. I got my Fitbit. I get my 1,000,000 steps a day and everything like that. I mind the hunt. I mind almost crushing a family, maybe a late baby stroller or something. But I hate looking around the mall for where I'm going to park, and then I hate looking for my car when I come out of the mall through Nordstrom's instead of Macy's.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, and there are some things in life that you don't mind paying extra for, even though it's not really necessary. You know, that there are times where you'll go out of your way to save $1, like free Slurpee day.
Right. Sure.
But then there's other times where you're like, yeah, I don't really mind paying extra because of the convenience or the happiness it brings you.
Yeah.
The parking, I mean, the way you say it, Danny, you're right. Like, there have been plenty of times where you walk out and you are lost.
Every time. And Amy, my lovely wife, she takes a picture of where we parked.
Right.
I don't see why that helps. Now you have a picture of a thing you can't find.
I mean, something you don't mind paying extra for, even though it's not really necessary. What else comes to mind, Danny?
Oh, I'll tell you immediately, and I had to be talked into this. Premium economy.
Yeah.
On an airplane?
Yeah.
You're still in economy. Why are we doing this? But I don't need more room, and I don't need free drinks like first class or anything. I'm short and sober. Well, I sound like Wiz Khalifa. I'm short and sober, so I don't need anything else. But it's like, I don't know, $90 more or something like that for premium economy, and it's better. There's more leg room. It's just the 2 seats in the back of the plane. I will spend the extra $90 on that.
Yeah, and it does vary flight to flight, you know, what airline it is, but most of the time, a couple extra bucks.
Yep.
Not to have somebody stinky sitting next to you. I'm with you
Well,
on that
she
one.
can't help that. I'm coming. It's my job. I bought the tickets.
Well, you guys listening, what is something you don't mind paying extra for, even though it's not really necessary? Call us now, 800-252-1025, or text your answer to 90627.
All right, it is not often that you hear me say, well, New Jersey does it, we should. But in this case, New Jersey does it, and in my opinion, we should. They've got these primo parking spaces for $5. What is something that you don't mind paying a little extra for, even though it's not necessary? 1-800-252-1025. You can text us at 90627.
Let's start with Sam calling from Everett.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, how are you guys today?
We're all good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. It's a beautiful day out there.
All right, cool. What do you got for us?
I'll pay extra for good quality produce, like shopping around from store to store till I find something that's, really good.
Wow.
Now, that's a thing you'll actually do. You'll go to some unnamed grocery store and you don't like the way the guavas smell, and then you'll go looking around for other places?
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's dedication, yeah.
But you know what? In Los Angeles, I don't know my stores as well as here, but I would go to Fred Meyer and assume I'm going to get good produce. But you go to a store in Los Angeles, they're all over the place, called Gelson's.
Yeah.
And you're paying more just to walk in the door of Gelson's, but the story is anything that can be fresh is the freshest at Gelson's. So I guess there's a bunch of people that would do that with you there, Sam.
Yeah, I'm definitely willing to pay extra for grocery items for, if you can get a fresher, better product. But to hunt around from store to store is a whole nother thing.
We are asking, what is something you don't mind paying extra for, even though it's not necessarily something necessary?
First, can I mind a little?
Sure.
That it costs. It's more money. Now,
Yeah.
I'm willing to do it.
Right.
Like
you do it.
my premium economy. I don't love that $100 not being in my pocket, but I'll do it because it makes my life better.
Yeah.
Call in with your answer, 800-252-1025, or text in 90627. Let's talk to Crazy Mary in Tukwila.
Hey, Mary, what's up?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
We're very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm great. So I'm willing to pay extra to go to a hair salon, have my hair shampooed, blow dry, and a flat iron.
Because it looks
And
much better.
I have long hair, so it runs anywhere in the upwards of between, just for those three things, $80.
No, I had no idea.
They cut, when you have long hair and you go in to get it cut, they charge you more, even though you're not getting any more cut off.
There's a weird thing involved with people washing with your hair, too. When I go into a hair salon and some girl, I don't know, starts rubbing my head and washing my hair, I think, I love her. Should I tell her that I love her? And then when she blow dries me out, I'm over her.
What is something you don't mind paying extra for, even though it's not really necessary? Let's talk to Richard in Federal Way.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, morning, guys.
Morning.
So I like to pay a little extra for concert tickets because the closer you get, the better people are up there, around you.
The better the people are.
Well, if depending on your definition of better,
yeah,
somebody can spend $40 on a concert ticket.
Sure.
And at the same concert can be $182.50. But up there are not only going to be people that can afford to spend $182.50, they're like-minded people who will do it. So I see
Right.
your point. I see your point.
A lot of times, yeah, if you're a super fan, you want to be up as close as possible. One, because you're getting a great show, but also because the other super fans are there with you.
Right.
It's a whole different experience. Also, Deadhead Dean texted into 90627, says pay extra for premium parking at concerts, especially at White River Amphitheater.
I agree with all of that.
Because when you get out of that show, you're done with that, long concert you've been at. You just want to get out of there.
Yep, and that's one way in and one way out.
Yeah.
What about Brent calling from Port Townsend, something you don't mind paying extra for?
Morning, Sarah Licious and Dashing Danny.
Hey, morning.
So I will totally shell out the bucks for the late checkout when I'm in Vegas.
Yep. Yeah, you're a winner on that one. Because, how fast do you need this room? There's 9,000 rooms here in Vegas. Let me sleep a couple
Seriously.
more minutes. Yeah, I'm with you.
And really Vegas. Like, that's where it's really important. God knows what time you went to bed. Jay in Hotlanta, something you don't mind paying extra for?
I go the extra mile for a proctologist with a decent manicure.
I was going to say one of the things I pay extra for, toilet paper.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm
Who
with you.
wants one ply? Come on. Why do they even make that?
She bought this toilet paper. I thought it was a practical joke. And I yelled about it, and she goes like this. It was so funny because usually Amy fights to be right, and I fight to be right, and that's how we're going to get along that day. And I said, this toilet paper is ridiculous. Are you kidding me? And she said, I'm really sorry. Meaning she noticed it too.
Yeah, I remember trying to save money, and I was buying the Scott, just the plain old Scott toilet paper brand, and it's 1-ply, and it's like paper.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's worth it to spend a little extra.
But it really is. The quilty stuff, like I pay no attention to those commercials. That bear saying disgusting things to me while he jumps all around, tells me where he can and can't sleep. But there really is something to be said about, I don't know if it's 2-ply or what, quilted this, whatever it is. There's a difference, kids.
Oh, yeah, it's all about the quilted.
It's all about the quilted.
Some great texts in the 90627. Somebody willing to pay more money for mobile detailing. Somebody to come out and clean your car instead of you cleaning it yourself.
Oh, wow.
There's services, if you can get your neighborhood behind you too, by the way, that they will come out once a month and do like 4 or 5 different cars in your neighborhood and cut you all a deal. That's a thing. It used to be,
nice.
I never did it because I was kind of broke when I discovered it, but that's a real business.
Yo and Olympia willing to pay for brand names on food like Philly cream cheese and Ghirardelli chocolate.
Yeah,
they
me
taste
too.
better. They taste better
look at
than
the
the store brand.
ingredients. What?
Do they taste better than the store brand?
It's all in your mind. You look at the ingredients, it's
all in your
exactly the
mind.
same.
But
I'll pay more.
It's in my mind that Ghirardelli is going to be quality, and I'm right. Now, it's also in my mind that one probably isn't, but I don't care because I eat the Ghirardelli.
Right. But
Which, by the way, why is it called Ghirardelli like it's spelled? You're in America.
Because they're not American.
But they're in America. They're in San Francisco. Spell like an American.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Another text, grain-free dog food. My dogs deserve the very best. Somebody willing to pay extra?
I pay more for cat food. I wouldn't do Friskies or anything.
I don't pay more for cat food because I love this cat. My cat's terrible. But we buy the most expensive stuff because I don't know how she figured out that's what she eats, but that's what she eats.
She's gluten-free. You can't give your cat all that gluten.
She's something crazy.
And Brian and Everett texted into 90627 and willing to pay more for sex. Not necessarily for the sex, but for them to leave afterwards.
Oh.
That's Brian. Everett,
Thank you, Brian.
It's not me. It's Brian.
I don't care. There's part of that's right.
Yeah. All right. Sheets. Anyone else willing to pay extra for sheets?
Oh, you got to have 25,000 a thread count.
Exactly.
I would say no, except my wife has purchased fleece sheets.
Yeah.
And they're spectacular. I feel like it's a question on my manhood that I noticed, but I noticed, and they're yummy.
And Paul, what is something you don't mind paying extra for?
A moving company. So I moved myself out of and into apartments and houses dozens of times. You know, you get the buddies together, pickup truck, and some pizza and beer, and I'll never again do that. Like, I used a moving company for the very first time, the last time we moved, and like, that's the way to go.
That's the way to go.
Why do people ever move themselves?
No, don't ever move yourself.
I remember when Gibbons asked you, Paul, if he would help him.
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
Well, that was just because I don't like Gibbons. But
no, that would explain a great deal. Then how about this? I will pay extra for all the movie channels that I get.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to. That's probably my best investment.
Yeah.
And, well, here's my money. Do something for me.
Yep.
The movie channel. I watch TV all day. Too much, as we probably all know.
Yeah.
But I am just shy of glad to pay it.
So Gibbons, throw him under the bus again. Now, Gibbons used to work here a long time ago, but Danny, you bought him a car from Phil Bivens.
Yeah, who, by the way, I had no idea what a deal Phil gave me. Thank you, Phil. Your prices are insane. You must be cuckoo.
But it was a very used car.
Yeah, it was.
200,000 miles or something insane.
Phil does not sell cars for $1,500, but he gave me one, and I didn't realize. That was nice of you.
It was an old car. It was a very used car, and he was putting in premium gas.
That's big waste. Now, didn't we find out on this very show that premium gas in general is a waste?
Unless
there's no
your
real
car
difference?
specifically needs it.
yeah, I think it's if your engine specifically needs it, but other than that, you're just throwing it away.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Tori, what is something you don't mind paying extra for?
So when it comes to clothing and shoes, I'm super cheap. If it's cute, I'll wear it. But when it comes to purses, I always get something designer. I'll pay extra for it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Purse.
But not knockoffs?
No, not knockoffs. When I was a
Slave
teenager,
labor.
yeah. Or when I was younger.
You're right. I mean, because you were irresponsible.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, people I know, and I see them all walking around with Louis Vuitton handbags, and I know you didn't spend $1,500 on that.
So when it comes down to a purse or paying rent, you pick the purse?
Yeah, totally. I live out in the streets.
It just takes a weird turn every time.
What is something you don't mind paying extra for?
More sweet and sour sauce at McDonald's. If I get a 20-piece nugget, I need at least 10 sauces. I'm drowning those nuggets.
And they don't give them to you?
No, you got to pay a little extra.
Yeah,
Wow.
you only get 2, right? You only
What's
get 2?
What's up with that?
We got to pay extra for the Szechuan sauce.
All right, I'll throw in real Coke versus baloney name brands. It's got to be Coca-Cola for sure.
No. Thanks for all of your calls, all of your texts. The news is next. News is brought to you by Car Pros Renting Kia. A Kent police officer was killed during a chase near State Route 516 early yesterday. Kent police officer Diego Moreno was killed during this chase, apparently struck by another Kent officer as he tried to deploy spike strips. He was an 8-year veteran of the police department. Several suspects fled the scene. One was arrested. The other 2 are at large, and investigators are asking anyone who has any information to call the Kent police. A 51-year-old suspect was booked into King County Jail following the stabbing of a man in the International District over the weekend. Police responded to 12th Avenue South in South Jackson. 2:30 in the morning, they found a 37-year-old injured man who has been transported to Harborview. The perpetrator was found a few blocks away and is behind bars.
And any motive?
They do not know yet if they knew each other and what the motive is. A woman was hit by a train and injured last night as she was walking on the tracks near Lacey. Now, police and medics responded to the scene. She was found with multiple serious injuries. She was taken to Harborview and was talking to medics and said, "Not intentional. I did not see or hear the train."
Did she have earphones on? And then, first of all, God bless. So having said that, did she have headphones on or anything?
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, when I was walking out on the tracks, which just seemed like a completely normal thing to do, by the way, I'm walking around, but I must say, and with no headphones in, I turned around every 10 seconds.
Sure,
See,
yeah.
and anything start moving. And then finally, I just got off the tracks and said, this is so weird. This isn't as fun as when I was a kid.
We were talking earlier about Phoenix Jones and if he's still out there, fighting crime and saving people from emergency situations. It sounds like he needs to be. I mean, there maybe need to be more of him because there's so much bad news going on.
To sweep on in and
jump and save people before they get hit by a train?
Yeah, sure. That and the guy who got stabbed, just prevent the
See,
stabbing.
the guy that gets stabbed, that seems to be Phoenix Jones' job.
Yeah.
Catch the bad guys in the truck before the cops have to put out the spike strip. Where's Phoenix Jones at when we need him?
According to Drama, he's shooting a documentary.
Oh, right. For
That's
Netflix.
where I get all of my information is from a guy named Drama.
I think that's who told us that.
Yeah.
Experts at Washington State University say they are closer to understanding why weed makes you have a hunger pang.
Yeah.
Why do you get the munchies? Well, they now say they are one step closer to understanding why. This is a recent study shared at the Society for the Study of Ingestive Behavior, and researchers say they are looking at how cannabis triggers hunger hormones in rats. They said, we know it affects the appetite, but until recently, we've not really known why. By studying the cannabis plant matter, we are discovering this.
It would not break my heart if they discovered how not to do that. So where you could get high and then not eat a whole pizza.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind me a little marijuana every now and again, but I do mind waking up going, oh, God, I ate a whole pizza. I hate myself.
Yeah.
Well, they would have to alter cannabis in order to make that happen because cannabis, even in a small dose, causes a surge in ghrelin, which is a hormone that informs the brain of hunger sensations. So it causes this hormone to tell your brain you're hungry, even though you're not.
All right.
So they'd have to figure out how to stop that, which isn't what they're trying to do. They're just trying to figure out what it is because it can be helpful for people who need to be treated for anorexia, cancer, HIV, AIDS, illnesses where you have trouble eating.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see somebody with anorexia because the anorexia I know is they all think they're fat. They look in the mirror, an 85-pound young lady looks in the mirror and she sees a chubby person. I never understood how that worked. So, yeah, if that'd work out, God bless.
This morning, we're finding out about a building collapse in Miami Beach that has left at least one person injured. The building had a permit for demolition, but then it just fell on its own accord. Several people shot some video that show this really looking like a building being demolished, but it wasn't supposed to be demolished
Wow, that's
yet.
so weird.
Yeah. Authorities say one person is dead, another injured following a shooting at a Mormon church yesterday in Nevada. Police say 48-year-old John Kelly O'Connor walked into the church, opened fire, and walked home. The authorities arrived at his home and they said he did not put up a fight, just surrendered to authorities. There were 50 people in the church, and it appears he targeted one person.
Oh, okay. Not that it's okay. I just wondered because you hear about these things. You never hear about this at a Mormon church.
No. And was he a member of the church, or did he know the people in the church?
They are not disclosing that yet because they haven't told the family.
Yeah.
And so we don't know if they are related. They're trying to keep this.
Any chance it was one of his wives?
As I said, they're not disclosing that information pending next of kin notification. So it appears that one person was targeted because 50 people in the church, if he had wanted to do a mass killing, he had the opportunity, shot one person, walked out and went home. Very strange.
Nobody gave chase or tackled him or anything like that?
Nope.
Oh.
President Trump tweeted a warning to the president of Iran late last night in all capital letters. He said, "Don't ever threaten the United States again, or you will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before."
Does anybody make normal threats anymore? Do you know what the president of Iran said to him? Don't pull on the lion's tail.
Yeah, you're right.
What? Shut up.
But didn't we do this with North Korea? Fire and fury like no one's ever seen before?
Then made besties.
Then didn't do anything. So maybe we're going to be besties with the leader of Iran.
Yeah.
Iran said war with Iran is the mother of all wars.
No, it's really not.
You will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before.
I'm confident the war with Iraq was the mother of all wars. You can't just throw these support your poor mother.
I'm sorry to say there's more terrible news in the news.
All right.
A 3-year-old boy was hospitalized over the weekend after sustaining injuries from a suspected acid attack in England. Now, the boy was treated for serious burns to his arm and face, and a 39-year-old was arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to commit grievous bodily harm. They said, "We are treating this as a deliberate attack on a 3-year-old boy." They just don't know why.
I know why. I think.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody really hates his mom.
Oh.
You want to get to a baby's mother? Yes, you want to get to a baby's mother, attack the baby.
Yeah.
That's way worse than attacking mom.
What a terrible person. Not
these
you.
acid attacks are just outlandishly mean.
Yeah.
They never recover. They show every now and again 6 women will get together in a circle and talk to Diane Sawyer or whoever the hell they're talking to these days, and then they lift up their veils. It's like, God, how could anybody do that?
The Georgia Police Department is in hot water over one of their purchases. The U.S. Department of Justice has gone down there and said, "What did you do with that $70,000? And they said, "We bought a Dodge Charger Hellcat."
Wow, that's a reasonably good call.
They said this was used as their community outreach program called Beat the Heat, where citizens get to race police officers on drag strips and are taught about the dangers of street racing and distracted driving. And they said, "We understand this is community outreach, but you need to find a way to do that for less than $70,000.
Now, where'd they get the $70,000?
It's part of a program where the states and the government will give money for your discretion, which is supposed to be used for community outreach.
Because as stupid as this sounds, it doesn't sound that stupid to the money. For me, the using of money, the government really uses the money poorly in a lot of ways. But a $70,000 car that goes super whammy fast, as soon as you have an accident on the strip with a kid, you're going to realize you spent the money unwisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hellcat can go 204 miles an hour. I'm guessing that's not really that necessary.
No, but it makes a lot of people gather around and go, "Wow, that's a cool car." If you're looking for community outreach, I think that's one way to do it.
I went down one time to Phil Bivens. I forget what I was doing down there, but he had 3 of them for sale. And I thought they were harder to get than that. And then the crazy bastards let me drive one. Oh, my God, I want 9 of these, which is what I said. And to my surprise, he did not give me one.
No.
I was pretty sure there was going to be one in my stocking. And
So many studies warn about the dangers of electronics and young children. But in this story, an iPhone and a tech-savvy 3-year-old saved a man's life. Molly McCabe, age 3, was home with dad. 1-year-old sister was taking a nap in her crib. Her father starts having convulsions on the floor.
Yeah.
3-year-old Molly grabs her father's iPhone and FaceTimed Mom. Mom is a nurse at a hospital. Mom didn't answer. She's at work. She calls again. 3-year-old Molly FaceTimes Mom. Finally, she answers, turns the phone on around, and shows dad having a stroke.
Yeah.
Turns out he was having a stroke, but that's where the convulsions were. So Mom was able to call 911. She called a neighbor to go help out at the house. The EMTs arrived and they said, it's a good thing your daughter knew how to FaceTime.
Yeah.
Mom says, the family FaceTime grandma and grandpa every day, but I make the call. I have no idea how my 3-year-old had figured out how to FaceTime.
Oh, those kids know everything about the phone, the computer.
When you were starting the story, I thought she dismantled the phone, made defibrillators out of it, and zapped him like the little MacGyver she is.
Yeah. It's amazing how many adults now ask their kids or someone else's kids to help them with the electronics.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily ask for help, but Jelly Bean will often show me things that I didn't know my phone did. And I don't know how it's not like she has my phone very often.
Yeah. It just comes naturally to them. That's what they know.
Now, she can't use a mouse, though. That's the funniest thing to watch.
Is that
Give
true?
her like an older computer, and she's just pushing the screen and then getting everything in her world is touch screen and touch to type. You don't have keyboards and mice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because by the way, my computer, the piece of crap I bought, is a touchscreen on the sense I can get it to go to my mail or I can get it to go online.
Yeah.
But that's it. You can't get it to really do any high functions by touching it.
A woman named Ellen Fleming said she is a millionaire. At least she was a millionaire.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
For a couple of hours. She got a call from TD Ameritrade from one of her from a financial consultant. And they said, okay, just wanted to confirm $1.1 million is in your bank account. Let me know if you need any help with making any trades. And she said, well, that's weird because I've only got $50 in my account. And they
Why
said,
would you do that?
Yeah. What's the matter with you?
You thank the guy for his call, you hang up and take the money.
And take the money immediately out.
Yeah.
So she opens up her banking app and sees $1.1 million and $50 left over. And she said, oh, my gosh, what could this be?
Lucky.
Imagine.
That's it, being lucky.
Yeah. The gods are smiling upon you. Don't throw it back in their face.
She called the bank and they said, oh, my gosh, one of our people here made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
We're sorry. It went to the person with the same name, but a different one. So Ellen Fleming, there's 2 of them, and they deposited it into the wrong account. She said, please make sure that in my obituary, I'm referred to as a one-time millionaire.
Okay, I'll make sure. My goodness.
She's taking that well. Like, that's got to be terrible to know not only this other person has a lot more money than you that they can invest $1 million, but the person with your exact same name.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be bummed out.
That would kind of bum me out, too.
I'm kind of bummed that anybody anywhere has anything better than anything I have.
Right?
That's how I live my life.
If that person was also named Danny Bonaduce.
I would hunt them down.
Yeah.
How hard could they be to find? Their name's Danny Bonaduce.
I don't know if you guys remember, but the Swiss chocolate bar Toblerone came under fire a couple of months ago because they made a change to the candy bar. Now,
they put a giant gap in between the triangles.
Yes. Now, it used to be, like a quarter of an inch between the chocolate triangles.
Yeah, something like that, sure.
Yeah.
And now it's more like an inch. They said they had to make the size go from 200 down to 150 grams. And to do that, they didn't want people to think they were getting a smaller bar. So they made it the same length, but the smaller
Less
triangles.
chocolate, yeah.
I had
fewer
one
triangles.
Or I had one square of a triangle or one last night. Dante, when we stopped to get his jeans, he got a Toblerone. It didn't look
delicious.
Well, I don't know that it didn't look different because I didn't stare. Now I'm going to stare.
Yeah, you should.
Well, there was such pushback that they said, we are going to stop. We are going to bring back the original Toblerone shape.
Oh.
So it was cost cutting on their part. Less chocolate, same price. No
So
word.
now, do we have to pay more for it now?
They have not told us yet. It's going to be on shelves later this year. If you steal a cell phone, it's not always smart to take a selfie while you do so. Because technology being what it is, a lot of people have their phones set up that it goes automatically into a cloud.
Right.
That was what happened in Louisiana. Somebody stole at gunpoint. It was a robbery. Give me all your stuff, including your cell phones. Well, the victim was notified that you have new photos in your cloud. Opens them up. There's the person who robbed them.
Oh, man.
So the police were able to arrest Tommy Lee Beverly Jr. Armed robbery.
And so
Dummy.
that guy is downloading pictures of his own robber?
He didn't download it. He took a picture, and your phone, if you press this activation, automatically goes to the cloud
Right,
to save
but
it for you.
The victim, you're right,
Thank
Danny.
you.
The victim is downloading the pictures of his own perpetrator.
Right.
Yeah, so they said, you've got new photos. Really? So they just go to the cloud. They log on to their cloud and look at all the new pictures in there and
Those
send them to the cops.
Cloud logger honors, or whatever they're called.
Paul, do yours automatically go to a cloud?
No, they did, and then the space filled up, and I didn't pay for extra money for more space. So
You can buy more cloud?
You can buy more cloud.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
There's so much cloud out there.
I know you can buy followers.
Oh, really?
On
social
like
media?
Twitter and something else, you can buy tens of thousands of followers
Yeah,
to make
for not
yourself.
that much either. I think you can do it fairly cheaply.
I don't get what any of it does, so I would not do it. But there's somebody that, oh, that's what it was. Somebody kept stealing Amy's credit card and buying more followers on it.
Oh, I need to do that. I need followers.
You don't need fake followers, Paul.
Why not?
How about this? We've got a great story out of Florida. I don't say that often.
It never happens.
An 11-year-old boy has graduated from college. William Malis is 11 and just graduated over the weekend. He learned addition and subtraction when he was 1 year old. By the time he was 3, he knew the alphabet in 3 languages. At 4, he learned algebra and started elementary school. He was declared a genius at 5. He's never been homeschooled. He went to regular high school and graduated at 9. He just graduated with his associate's degree, is on his way to a 4-year degree, and plans to be an astrophysicist.
Super cool. Now, just out of curiosity, what other languages do you know the alphabet in?
Cyrillic, Mandarin.
Cyrillic? Does that
That's
count?
an alphabet.
Russian, like the Russian letters.
Yeah.
And the I guess Sanskrit, would that count? Man,
I
this
don't know
kid-
their alphabet,
This
but-
kid's allegedly a genius.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. At 12, he's going to be doing keg stands in a frat house.
If this all goes as planned, at 13, he will graduate with his 4-year degree. And if he's going to be an astrophysicist, go on to get a PhD, which could all happen before 20.
Don't become an astrophysicist.
It's his dream. And he's been interviewed.
He's 9 or some such thing. He
11.
shouldn't have a dream.
He is very articulate and nice and just seems like a really well-rounded kid, which you wouldn't expect
No,
for
you
a
wouldn't
super
expect.
genius.
I expect nothing but trouble from this kid.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
If you've got any Ritz in your house, you should probably get ready to toss them because they are recalling Ritz crackers and Ritz bits salmonella.
Wow.
Ew.
Will they take mine back? They're all crushed. I sat on them.
Oh.
Because, no, I was trying to make a point to Amy that everything's really not better if it sits on a Ritz. And she didn't find it funny, and I found it funny, and now I have a box full of dust.
I like to put a little smoked salmonella on my Ritz crackers with some cream cheese, some chive maybe.
Sure.
That's terrible. California Highway Patrol says a driver caught going 99 miles per hour told the trooper that the radar readout wasn't his miles per hour. That must be the current temperature. Cops did not find that as funny as Paul did.
No?
No. They said, come on, man, that's got to be the current temperature. CHP said there was an awkward silence for a few seconds, and then I gave him his citation.
I got 99 problems, and your gun is one. Is that?
I mean, A for effort on his part.
No. You give a guy an A for effort if he got out of the ticket.
Well, A for effort for trying. He didn't work.
B minus.
B minus for effort.
B minus for effort.
News brought to you by Car Pros Rent and Kia. But wait, there's more. We've got music news, we've got entertainment, we've got sports, so stay with us. The creation of John Lennon's 1971 album Imagine will be the subject of a new book. Compiled by Yoko Ono, Imagine John Yoko will be released on October 9th, which is what would have been his 78th birthday. So Yoko Ono said a lot has been written about the creation of the song, the album, and of the film, mainly by people who weren't there. So I'm very pleased and grateful that now, for the first time, so many of the participants have kindly given their time to give some truth in their own words and pictures. So this is going to be a 320-page hardcover book all about Imagine.
How much am I spending on another John Lennon thing in my house?
No price revealed yet, not till it gets a little bit closer to the release date.
All right. You know, the only time I ever liked Yoko Ono, and I'm just not a fan, I forget the reason she did it, but it was a good enough reason, maybe the anniversary of his death or something like that, because she really doesn't exploit as well as she could. If you want to dislike her for that, she doesn't go as hardcore as she could. But she put up, and I could be a little bit wrong here, but John Lennon's New York City t-shirt that he so famously wore with his round glasses that had blood splattered on them.
Oof.
And it was the anniversary of his death or something like that. I thought that is meaningful. That's a real thing to do.
Y'all remember Honey Boo Boo?
Yeah.
She hasn't been talked about all that much lately, but...
If this turns out she has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I'm quitting.
She has a star on the Hollywood.
Oh.
No, she is rumored to be joining Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, wow.
Dancing with the Stars is coming out with a juniors show. So Dancing with the Stars Juniors, which we're also hearing Scottie Pippen's kid will be on the cast. I don't know what Scottie Pippen's kid has done other than be Scottie Pippen's kid, but they said it's going to be celebrity dancers.
Okay. Now, will it just be straight up young celebrities? They don't have to be related to anybody famous?
No, but they say famous. So either they've done their own...
On their own, they could. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, maybe Scottie Pippen's kid has done some Nickelodeon or something.
No, his dad's famous. That's that hook. And then could he have gotten on just because he's famous? If he had his own TV series, like the little Colombian kid on Modern Family. His parents aren't famous, but he could go on, right?
It's all kids who have some level of fame. Now, all of this is speculation at this point because they're trying to keep it a secret.
Well, they're terrible at it.
Yeah, well, it happens every year with regular Dancing with the Stars that we find out half of the people competing, but they keep it under wraps because they announce it on Good Morning America. But every single year it leaks out. So just like this one, Honey Boo Boo and Scottie Pippen's daughter going to be two of the people dancing.
No, I wondered what happened to her. Now I know.
Yeah, and gosh, I hate to say this, but she's getting older, and the cute thing isn't as cute when you're older.
I never found her cute to begin with. I didn't know what everybody was doing with this kid. She was rude and belligerent. And now she's going to believe, well, rude and belligerent pays. I'll continue to do that. And did you see her mom's TV show?
I've seen some of it.
What's her name? Something
Mama June.
Mama June from Not to Hot. Oh, my God.
She got help, but she lost a ton of weight, has had plastic surgery. She looks fantastic.
No, she doesn't. I disagree. She looks better than she did.
Yeah,
for sure. But would you say she's pretty?
I wouldn't, but she looks a lot better than a lot
Yeah,
healthier than
absolutely.
she did
Way
before.
better. But hot? Ooh, look at her. I'll buy her a beer.
I would not say hot.
I think the entire family has prettiness, but they're just hiding it behind Sketty.
Including the child molester?
Well, we don't really talk about him. He was barely part of the show.
Oh, all right. Well, he's pretty, though.
Former star of the Dukes of Hazzard, Tom Wopat, was sentenced to a year probation after pleading guilty to 2 counts of accosting a person of the opposite sex. He was charged with touching 2 female cast members while rehearsing for 42nd Street off Broadway. And when they went to arrest him, they found cocaine on his person.
So does that mean the entire cast of Dukes of Hazzard is going to jail?
The other Duke brother is broke.
Refusing to pay his alimony.
And
Says
wants
he
to go
doesn't
to
have any
jail.
Money. Yeah.
Whereas Tom Wopat is pleading guilty to unwantingly, or people didn't want him to touch them, and he did.
I'll tell you this, in Hollywood during his days, and I was pretty screwed up when they had their heyday, they're the people young Hollywood actors aspired to be. You wanted to be the Dukes of Hazzard. You wanted to get that job. You want to get in a job with pretty girls and fast cars. You can't beat this. And now look at them.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Uncle Jesse's not with us anymore. Daisy Duke, I haven't heard anything about her being in jail.
No, she's not in jail.
Okay. So it's just the boys, just them Duke boys. They're always up to no good.
No, a couple of them had other problems. They just didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
At the box office over the weekend, we had 2 sequels, and 2 very different sequels at that. The Equalizer 2 reigned supreme.
Wow.
The Sequelizer.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Just barely.
You've been throwing them out there all day. That was a good one.
Appreciate it.
The Equalizer 2, number 1 with $35.8 million. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, $34.4 million.
Here's the problem with that, because I think that is skewed with the Equalizer. You got one huge star to pay.
Yeah.
Mamma Mia, 74 people in that show.
Right.
Dancing, singing, learning their lines. It's all craziness.
They said what was interesting about this weekend was the difference was typically, stereotypically gender specific. Mamma Mia, Here We Go, 83% female, 64% over the age of 25. Whereas The Equalizer, more man heavy. So they, in some cases...
That was actually in their trailer. The Equalizer, more man heavy.
They may have had a bit of a divide and conquer. 2 people go to the movies together and go to 2 separate movies.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Hotel Transylvania 3 at number 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp at number 4, and Incredibles 2 at number 5. So taking a look at that, it's a whole lot of the same.
There's crap and cartoons.
Well, Ant-Man is a second in the series.
Crap.
Incredibles 2 is a sequel.
Cartoon.
Hotel Transylvania 3 and the first 2 were sequels.
Yeah.
Nothing fresh. Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The Mariners had a pretty good weekend, beating the White Sox Friday, losing Saturday, but winning yesterday 8-2.
Nice.
They are off today, but up next, they host the San Francisco Giants, 7:10 start time on Root Sports. And the Mariners have announced that Scott Service has agreed to a multi-year contract extension. They're going to be holding a press conference with Scott Service and Jerry Dipoto, 12:30 from Safeco Field. That's good news. Speaking of the Mariners game, tomorrow you can join Derek and Tori from 5 till 7 at Henry's, hanging out with all you guys who are getting ready to go to the ball game. So go stop by, enjoy some tasty cocktails from Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka. So Derek, Tori, tomorrow from 5 till 7 at Henry's. I've got bad news about Danny's favorite quarterback turned ball player.
Tebow!
Over the weekend, Binghamton outfielder Tim Tebow was put on the disabled list.
Oh.
Now, they thought he was going to get called up to the Mets.
Well, he thought that. Nobody else thought that.
He is currently in AA. They were waiting for the AAA call.
Yeah.
And they said right now he has a hand injury, and they haven't gotten results from an X-ray and an MRI yet. They are waiting to find out because this could hamper plans to be on the regular Mets.
Was of course he has plans to get called up by the Mets, but was that any true conversation?
Yes.
Hey, I think it's time we bring him up.
Not to the regular Mets yet. They had to bring him up to AAA first.
To AAA, and then if he continues to be good there, then he could go to the Mets.
Here's something to know.
And the Mets are pretty terrible, so he could go to the Mets
That's
anyway.
exactly what I was about to say.
There's a better chance.
The Mets are absolutely terrible. One of their pitchers just got foot, hand, mouth disease and is on the disabled list. Yeah, gross.
Totally gross.
That he got from a bunch of pesky kids.
I didn't even know we still had that anymore.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
They said it's mostly common with kids, and he probably got it when he was working at a kids' camp.
Yeah, wash your hands.
No, let him put those kids' their feet in his mouth.
So the Mets are so terrible that he might have gotten the call.
Yeah.
We'll find out today what the deal is with his hand. More bad news for former football players who used to be awesome and now aren't. Johnny Manziel has been traded from the Hamilton Tiger Cats to the Montreal Alouettes, who are the worst team in the Canadian Football League.
Does that mean he has a chance of playing, though?
Yes.
How do you even be the worst team in the Canadian? What is it? Flag football? What is it? It's
No,
something
it's real
stupid,
tackle
right?
football.
It's real.
Is it indoors? What is it? It's something stupid.
No, it's outdoors. It's a slightly different shaped field, but it's a wider field.
It's not a rectangle?
It is, but
The
it's a
specs are different.
wider field. Yeah, it's different dimensions than an NFL field, and they've got, I think, a couple of different rules, but for the most part, it's like your NFL football, just with all the guys who couldn't make it in the NFL.
I keep rooting for that guy, and I'm starting to think too much time has gone by. Pretty soon, it won't matter that I'm rooting for him.
Danny,
he's not going.
25.
If he gets a chance to
That's
play,
crazy.
If he gets a chance to play for this terrible Canadian team, then he's got a better shot of turning things around. Right now, he's been a backup for the whole season.
And who didn't play, as I understand it.
Who didn't play as a backup? Yeah, because the starter was in there and not injured.
Right.
Yeah.
So he hasn't played football in forever.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a couple of years, yeah.
It's just really pathetic that he's 25 years old. He has another 10 years of viable playing time and just can't cut it. But maybe now with the Alouettes.
Man, when I was 25, I could do anything. You want me to become a quarterback? Done.
Yeah.
Francesco Molinari played a wonderful game in Scotland and won the Open, becoming Italy's first major champion. Tiger Woods had played a heck of a game. Jordan Spieth played a heck of a game. Both made costly errors towards the end, and it went to the Italian. The Sounders beat the Vancouver Whitecaps on Saturday 2-0. They play the Earthquakes Wednesday, 7:30 match time. Yesterday, the Atlanta Dream defeated the Storm. They're in action again tomorrow against the Indiana Fever at 4. Sports this morning brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Tomorrow, 7:50, a filthy forecast. At 7:20, your chance to win those very special tickets to
Seafair weekend.
Seafair.
Seafair. I got to do Seafair. You know, and by the way, I'll throw it out there. Sarah was kind enough to say it earlier, but you can join Tori and Derek there tomorrow night at Henry's Tavern. You'll be drinking a bunch of Tito's vodka and making very cool cocktails. So go out and head that. And earlier in the show, we were talking about what would you willingly spend more money on. I would like to be, let me rephrase. Remember you wanted to be born someplace to get free stuff?
Yeah.
I want to be born in Steve Slayton's garage.
Yeah.
So that's it. He can't kick me out. I can just hang around going, how do you play that record? How do you play that record? Because that's what I do. Anyway, Steve Slayton's going to walk in this room any minute now. He's going to play a bunch of classic rock and roll for your listening pleasure. We will get out of his way. Bye.